Happy Friday, everyone! Welcome back to the virtual cabin for Friday the 13th, the game. My name is Mad-Eye Yokai, and tonight we are going to be discussing the Pamela Voorhees tapes. And more importantly, I'm going to be sharing some brand new information regarding the tapes and what this could mean for the future of Friday the 13th. So, if you know how to unlock the tapes inside the virtual cabin, please skip ahead by using the timestamp in the description below. And if you're new to the virtual cabin and don't know what the Pamela Voorhees tapes are, stick around. I will explain what they are as I show you how to unlock them. So, let's begin. Alright, so the virtual cabin has a bit of a mystery to it. We don't know who we are, why we're here, and so the way we solve this mystery is by locating certain items and triggering events. And one of the events we would trigger is the Pamela Voorhees tapes. The Pamela Voorhees tapes will appear on this typewriter if we find 4 books inside this room and zoom in on them. The way you do this is you have to approach a book, like I'm doing right now. I'll approach my favorite book first, the Necronomicon, right here on this table. You have to center it on your screen, and if you wait a few seconds, the game should sense you're looking at it and zoom in, just like now. Now there are 4 books. You can look at them and zoom in any order you want. The items have to be relevant to the puzzle, so you have to go around the cabin, really look hard at the items, wait a few seconds, and if the camera doesn't do anything, you move on. So that's book number 1. We're going to go to book number 2. So I know the focus for Friday the 13th, the game, is the 7-on-1 experience. 7 counselors versus Jason Voorhees, try and kill him or run away for your dear life. But the creators of the game, Ronnie, Hobbs, and Wes Keltner, wanted to introduce some new lore from Friday the 13th. So they accomplished this by creating the Pamela Voorhees tapes. Now the Pamela Voorhees tapes, as you can guess, are centering on Pamela Voorhees. They're going to be discussing her life before she came to Camp Crystal Lake, how she got here, what was she doing after her son's death. Because we have a good 20 years between, Jason's death and Pamela Voorhees going crazy and killing all the camp counselors in the 1970s. So this is going to be really cool. I think it's going to open some doors into Pamela's life and her downward spiral from loving mother to serial killer. Alright, so that's book number 3. Now before we go to book number 4, I just want to explain to you really quickly what these tapes are. These are audio files, and I know the first the first file will appear on our typewriter. Now this is a rough draft version that's going to appear. It's not the final draft, so it could change. But the Pamela Voorhees tapes are audio files that you will find as you play the game. You could be searching, for example, a couch. You could be searching a stack of newspapers or behind the radio. And you may find not only an item, but a tape. And that tape will download to your main menu, and you can listen to that whenever you wish. Alright. Now, without further ado, let's get going onto the final book. Now, you're going to hear a sound effect after I zoom in. Alright, the typing stopped. I think it's safe to back out now. And voila! What do we have here? Eat a sit. The Pamela Voorhees tapes, as promised. This is just tape number 1. There are 3 pages. I will let you read them at your own pace. So if you want to read them, slowly, pause the video whenever there's a new page turn, and just read it, and then come back and you can listen to what I have to say. Or if you're a fast reader, you can listen and read at the same time. Whatever floats your boat. So the Pamela Voorhees tapes, written by Tom McLoughlin, tape number 1, June 14th, 1957. This is the day after Jason Voorhees drowns. First rough draft, so this could change over time. Dated May 14th, 2016 by Cinnamon Productions. And Tom McLoughlin, he's a really important guy in the Friday the 13th world. He was the writer and director for Friday the 13th Part 6 Jason Lives, and he was responsible for turning Jason into this monster, this zombie-like creature that is indestructible, that fans love and fear to this day. And I think it's thanks to Tom, I'm going to call him Tom for now in this video, that Jason Voorhees is the cult classic horror icon with the hockey mask. And now let's get to the plot twist. So, in a recent interview between Tom McLoughlin and Dread Central, this was 2 weeks ago, in honoring the 30th anniversary of Tom McLoughlin's work in creating Friday the 13th Part 6. Tom McLoughlin goes briefly in detail on his work and involvement on the Pamela Tapes. And I'm going to read you a segment directly from the interview. And I'm going to quote it word for word. I will also put the link in the description of my video so you can check it out. So I'm going to read you what Tom McLoughlin said in his interview with Dread Central. So here we go. Yes, I wrote the Pamela Voorhees tapes in the Friday the 13th video game coming out this fall. All these little tapes filled with secrets into the mind of Pamela you can find throughout the game. I also have a twist with Jason's dad, something I started in the ending to Friday the 13th Part 6. I can't discuss much more than that, but I think you will really like what I have come up with. Wow, okay, so we have a plot twist. This is a confirmed plot twist for Friday the 13th, the game, involving the Pamela Voorhees tapes. This is really cool. Now, get this. Tom's original draft for Friday the 13th Part 6 was edited. There was one scene that was cut out, the ending, and this involved Jason's dad. Now, there is a storyboard floating around on the internet that shows Elias Voorhees, Jason's father, going to the cemetery, and he is looking at the graves of Pamela Voorhees, his wife, and Jason Voorhees, his son. And he clenches his fist in anger and turns towards the direction of Camp Crystal Lake, and then Jason jumps out of the water. This is what I've read online, and this is also on Friday the 13th, the Wiki page. So I'm using that as my source here. If this is the case, Tom is continuing his work that he started 30 years ago, and he's going to finally put in some kind of ending or twist with Elias Voorhees in the Pamela Voorhees tapes. What this twist is, I don't know, but I want to share with you a really cool theory I came across on Twitter, and then I want to share with you a theory I have. So here we go. All credit for this theory goes to Living Deliciously at Bates Motel MT on Twitter. I really liked what he had to say, and he thinks that Jason Voorhees, you know, the person we've been seeing behind the hockey mask, is not Jason Voorhees, but in fact Elias Voorhees. Jason drowned in the 1950s at Camp Crystal Lake. His body was never recovered, but he died. Pamela Voorhees went nuts. She killed all the counselors when they were trying to reopen the camp, and Elias witnesses Pamela beheaded in the first film. And he decides to take vengeance on all of Camp Crystal Lake and the camp counselors who try and trespass on his property. I mean, wow, that is a really cool theory. You know, this would change everything we've thought about regarding Jason and the Voorhees family. And this could be possible because if we think about this ending that was cut from the Friday the 13th Part 6 film, this could have been a flashback. You know, Elias Voorhees could have visited the graves of Pamela and Jason after the first film and become so fueled with anger and rage and vengeance that he went nuts. And so I think his theory could hold some credibility if we combine it with this confirmed plot twist involving Elias Voorhees and Jason Voorhees in the Pamela Voorhees tapes. So I want to expand on this a little bit, and I want to share with you a theory I have involving the mystery of the virtual cabin and the Pamela Voorhees tapes. So I know this is going to sound crazy, but I want to share this, I want to get involved in the discussion, and if I'm wrong, that's okay. I just want to see what you guys think, and I want to share my opinion. So here we go. The person outside, walking back and forth, wearing the hockey mask, is not Jason Voorhees. What if that's Elias Voorhees? Alright, so what is Elias Voorhees walking back and forth in front of the cabin for? Why doesn't he just come in? I know suppose he's probably just here for decoration, but what if? So who are we in this cabin? You know, Necronomicon-Ex made a great point in his most recent video that we can't see our hands. There are no mirrors. We don't know who we are in the game. We can't tell if we're male or female. We can hear our footsteps as we're walking throughout the cabin, but we just don't know. And he made a great point by pointing out the height difference between the Jason models and ourselves, which means we could be someone pretty short, and most likely Pamela Voorhees. Okay, so if we're Pamela Voorhees, and outside is Elias Voorhees, what are we doing inside this virtual cabin? Why are we here? Now I'm going to call this the resurrection theory, but I think that we are trying to resurrect someone, and that someone is Jason Voorhees. We are going to unleash Jason for the very first time. Now I'm going to tell you guys why I think this. So here we go. Let's go over some facts first. Fact number 1. The Friday the 13th creators said the cabin has a mystery. They've stated this in Twitter, and they've stated this in their advertisements for the virtual cabin. They said that maybe you could be one of the few people who solves the mystery behind the virtual cabin for Friday the 13th. Okay, so there's a mystery game behind this. Fact number 2. The Pamela Tapes are connected to the larger mystery. This was suggested when the co-creator for the game, Ronnie congratulated Jason Takes Omegle on Twitter for discovering the first Pamela tape. So we know that the tapes are a part of the mystery. You know, when the first tape was released and it was found, it was announced that the first mystery for the virtual cabin was solved. So if there's a first mystery, there's got to be more coming up. Fact number 3. Tom McLoughlin, the writer of the Pamela Tapes, said in his recent interview with Dread Central that there is a plot twist involving Jason's father, Elias Voorhees. He didn't say Elias, but he said Jason's father, and according to canon, Jason's father is named Elias. So let's keep that in mind. Fact number 4. For the past few weeks, we have been running around solving these tiny puzzles, which caused not only the tapes to appear, but also these blood-red runes, which I'm going to show you right now. So whenever we approach an item, sometimes we hear nothing, but sometimes we hear a blood-curdling scream or a death, a death rattle from one of the Friday the 13th films. And whenever we hear that, a rune on this board lights up and turns the color blood red. It doesn't look natural. Some people have suggested in one of the videos for Necronomicon-Ex that it could be something very similar to the Zodiac Killer, but I think this is something demonic. We're lighting up these runes, they're turning blood red, we hear the screams, and also, we're alone, it's night, and this is more my speculation now. We have the Necronomicon-Ex Mortis here in front of us, and the Necronomicon did make an appearance in Friday the 13th, Jason Goes to Hell, so I believe it is part of the canon, and it was a film item, so it is here in the cabin, but maybe we're using this. Maybe we're combining the Necronomicon and all of these runes to summon something. So I think this rune board, the Pamela Tapes, this plot twist with Elias, now I think it's possible that Jason died and that for the first time the Voorhees family is bringing him back. Another possibility, just to throw this out there, I think we are resurrecting someone, I just don't know who. But another possibility is we are Elias Voorhees, and Jason is outside guarding the door while we resurrect Pamela Voorhees. I know this is a lot of speculation, and I'm combining theories here, but the recent announcement of Jason Voorhees' father being involved in a plot twist got me thinking, and that's what inspired me to make this video. So I hope you guys liked it. Please let me know what you think. Do you think the rune board and the Pamela files are connected to the larger mystery of the virtual cabin? Do you think they're two separate things? What do you think the plot twist is involving Jason's father? And what do you think of the virtual cabin overall? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, leave a like, and if you want to see more videos, please subscribe to Yokai. Have a good night, folks, enjoy your Friday, and I'll see you in the next video.